Hi, welcome back, all you lovely soul-inspired beings. Welcome to day 16 of our 55-day journey of Christ consciousness, inspired, by the Christ Consciousness Oracle or Self-Mastery deck created by Amanda Ellis, illustrated by Jane Delaford Taylor. And remember, it's about the qualities that are in you and connecting to those qualities and igniting that within yourself and within your life, and how these qualities may support you along your journey, your soul awakening, your inner evolution, whatever term you have for it. We have a few cards that popped out, so we're going to just keep shuffling here. And so again, for those of you that feel a contraction with the term Christ, I invite you to expand your perception about it, because it's a term that describes a level of energetic attainment or self-mastery. It's not a person. However, many of us have associated it just with one person, Yahweh Ben Joseph, or also referred to as Jesus. I'd like to remind you, these are qualities and energies that are within you. And as you connect with your truer essence, connecting with your soul and your heart. Excuse the loud noise while I was shuffling the deck a little more thoroughly. And so recognize that these energies are within you. You can call them whatever you'd like. Ascension energies, higher qualities, higher aspects of your self. This is about supporting your integration with your I am presence and higher way of being. So we have two cards come out, but we're going to focus on this first one, which is the heart. The heart and how beautiful that is. And it's like the cup runneth over, right? There's a cup off to the side, the chalice. It's reminding me of the Holy Grail. I think in one of my posts, I mentioned the Holy Grail. It might have even been when we were working with Mother Mary. But look at that water element within the heart, and water for many traditions represents emotions. But there's also a lot of violet and gold coming in. And just take in that image for a second as we prepare. And as you're taking in that image, I invite you to breathe in through your nose, put both feet on the ground, and exhale out through the mouth. And just ground yourself. If you feel like placing your hand over your heart, please do so. And just connect to your heart. Connect to your heart. So let's connect to our hearts. I like to also naturally place my other hand over my solar plexus. And I connect these two centers together through the breath. So I'm connecting my nervous system of the body and the nervous system of the heart, because the heart has its own neural network. And I'm also connecting to my higher self and my higher qualities. As I anchor my energy to the earth, the heart of the earth, I call on Archangel Sandalphon to assist with anchoring my energy, opening the Earth Star chakra that's about 3.5 feet outside of your body. Recognizing we are on this path of ascension, signaling to our higher self that you are ready, I am ready, and we're raising each other's vibration by doing our own individual work. And as we come collectively in these spaces, even though it's a digital space, there's no sense of time as the construct of time that you're used to, it begins to dissolve and take on a different shape, if you will, or no shape at all. We're in that eternal moment of now, the infinite energy of the soul, the infinite energy of the source, which we are all connected to. And so we come together with open hearts, with an open heart flowing. We'll connect I am to I am presence, higher self to higher self, essence to essence, in unity consciousness and recognition that we're part of the one, in oneness with all the whole of life, the whole of life. The other card that came out, and we won't do a full reading on this particular card, but we still will bring in the energies of it since it was so persistent. And it says to respond softly. And the card is called gentleness. So we're going to hold that up with the opening of the heart. And again, we have that violet robe. Right. And then we have the violet in the walls here. There's hints of violet and purple. It's a bit darker, but you can see it even here out through the top of the heart and the golden light coming in. So taking in those energies of the heart and gentleness, the heart and gentleness, the heart and gentleness. We'll go ahead and call on Jesus's energy to be very present with us today. And I'll go ahead and use the Jesus spray, the Christ light spray, Master Jesus. So again, it's the qualities, and we call on Jesus to assist us as a guide as you connect to your own heart, as you learn to be the master of your heart energy and higher energy within your body that's coming into your body through light, through source, through the planet, through the stars, through our food that you eat, okay? Everything through sight, right? Everything, our body receives light in many ways, many ways. And so we'll go ahead and spray these in the air. Just allow that spray to come around into your aura, only if you choose. Just receive what you wish to. If you don't want to, that's quite all right. Your soul knows what it was willing to receive and what it's ready for. So the gentleness piece, I feel it's pretty self-explanatory. Perhaps some of you out there right now are recognizing that you are going through another level of awakening, another level of influx of light, another level of your heart opening, and that sometimes can be disruptive. But if we look at the image here, let's just take in the image first. And what stands out is there's a hummingbird just off to just there behind. There's the hummingbird gently kind of even like taking water, right? Taking water from this beautiful waterfall, this heart opening, and it's a portal, right? Your heart energy is a portal. It's a portal to life. It's a portal to your essence. And it's actually reminding me of a book that I have. And it's about the soul and heart connection. And let me grab it real quick because it's just behind me here. Does he stand? All right, thank you. Catalyst of power. Okay, we're not going to go fully into this book today, but the catalyst of power, and it refers to something called the assemblage point. And this book is by John Whale, Jon Whale, and he's an MD, and I believe he's in Europe or in the UK, I believe, if I remember correctly. So he talks about the assemblage point. I learned of the assemblage point a while back in my shamanic studies, and it's one of the most prominent energy centers in our physical body because it governs how energy runs through your body. So when the assemblage point is been knocked off center or slightly moved, the energetics of your body move along with it, and you can have major shifts in your identity, in who you once were. Sometimes it can get shifted by extreme states of emotion. It can be shifted by an external trauma to the body, meaning like you can be hit, maybe a car accident, any type of thing can shift it. But a subtle, even just a micro shift of that can alter you. Okay. It could bring I want to be mindful, because sometimes if it's shift too much, it could bring an imbalance to the body, right? And it basically will lower. So it does sit around the heart level. And if you look at the back side, so here's the picture, and see how it's kind of center of the body. But remember to look at the body in a three-dimensional way. Like this is a two-dimensional image, right? So this would be a healthy, relatively healthy position depicted here. Now it could be slightly different for everybody. Now imagine when that center, based on your lifestyle or behavior, that center moves. So if you're someone that maybe you went through a time where you drank a lot, that's going to shift and lower the vibration and lower your assemblage point. Okay. Say if you were a drug user, right? And this could probably even be said for even allopathic medications for some people that may have had to take medications to help heal their body, but the medications were also bringing the vibration of the body down. There's the potential for, and I always say potential, okay, because it's not absolute for everybody. The potential to lower that energy center, which is the main energy center that feeds your body, okay, your heart. It's the main conduit, energetic center, gateway that brings in and meets your heavenly energy, etheric energy, and the earthly realm together. Okay. And that's coming out. And how might you harmonize that? How might you bring in that beautiful water flow for yourself by raising in vibration, meaning choosing to live life in a more pure way, no longer being attached to your emotions, and you're resolving the anger and resentment and depression, and really recognizing it's just information moving in and through the body and out of the body while you're integrating your higher aspect and being in gratitude for all the experiences in your life and all lifetimes as a soul that's got you to this point here right now. So for those of you that resonate with the catalyst of power, because this is what we're talking about, is your own personal power and connection to power, connection to source energy. You're getting plugged in. You're replugging yourself in directly to source in your I am presence. So with that, as your heart opens, the energy of the heart opens, you can only see the truth of what is, right? So even if someone is trying to paint a certain picture, when you bridge your heart with your human experience, your intuition, your gut instinct, you're receiving your outer world through the gut, and you're bringing in your higher aspect and higher awareness and your clairvoyancy, your clairs, because you're clairvoyant, telepathic, you're clairaudient, smell, taste, sentient, cognizant. Okay, those are all coming online for you in their own way. And as you become that bridge and bringing in the higher wisdom of yourself, it can be rocky. Some of you going through this experience, a dark night of the soul, your assemblage point may be shifting due to you evolving. Okay, because you can go through an emotional place, and then you're going to have to, and just forgive my language, okay? Once something's in motion, you've got to ride out the motion, right? So imagine if there was just water on the other side, and it's a rush of water coming through that opened heart, right? I have to go through the process of allowing the rush of water to come through. Right? If I've cracked something open, there's going to be energy to come through it, and it has to find its new shape within you, its new flow within you. So as your energy center of your heart, your main center of your body that feeds it, the whole of your body, the integration point of earth and heaven, a conduit, you be gentle in how that is showing up in your physicality and how it's integrating into your body and to your surrounding immediate world. So some of you may experience mental stress, emotional stress, your nervous system being totally impacted, and you're just the anxiety, the PTSD, feelings of these energies is going through your body. How might you show yourself some gentleness for this really beautiful process that can be uncomfortable for some of you? It can come across as that dark night of the soul term as people go through, where the way I described it when I went through some of mine and the more intense one a couple of years ago, I've been going, and we go through many ascension times, right? We don't just boop, okay, I'm done. We're constantly going and evolving. But my deeper one, I'll say, that felt the deepest to me in this life, I felt like I was being pulled from the inside out. And some of you may refer to that as like, oh, it's like I was inverted and being reinverted, like getting back into my essence. So it was literally like if you're changing the pillow case on a pillow, right? You got to, some of you, here's how I do it. I pull it inside out. I grab the corners and then I pull the pillowcase back over the pillow, right? But there's that inversion happening. And then you go right side up again. That is sometimes what happens when you're going through an awakening and your assemblage point is being repositioned, I'll say. And I'm really simplifying the assemblage point, but it's a major energy center, and that's a whole topic on its own for wellness and health. Okay, energetic health, which plays out physically, mentally, emotionally. So think about that for a minute. Like if you're someone, like some of you have been viewing or following me, like I've naturally been going into a cleanse, like excuse me, I'll say it's a water cleanse, but I'm eating food. So I'm getting hydration through melons, strawberries, other berries, every different types of melons, because they all hold different types of nutrients and fiber in them. I'm still eating food, but my body wants once a day, right? And then more melons and water, hydration in different forms the rest of the day. So those types of things may happen to you where your body's just like, boom, shutting off this, and I want this, right? So my body shut off hot foods and it wants cooler foods to cool down. So why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? Because sometimes when you're integrating energy, the body gets hot. Sometimes when you integrate energy, the body gets cold. So pay attention to how your body's responding to the integration and influx of new energy, and even breaking open, I'll say, because this is a beautiful heart opening, right? There's something within you, for lack of a better word, being cracked open, right? And so sometimes we can say, God, I just feel so heartbroken. And it's actually heart opened. Your heart opened. Some shield, protective shield within you that was keeping love away fell to the ground or dissolved in some way. I'll say dissolved. It's like the water. The water is known to be one of the most, depending on the tradition you from or read about, one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful element, because it can take on any shape. It can take on any shape. It can cut through anything over time. It can be soft and gentle. It can be hard as a wall. It can be a solid. It can be a vapor. It's a liquid, right? It's constantly transforming in a way that the other elements don't, right? And then we see this chalice off of the image here. And it makes me think of the Holy Grail, right? But there's a divine connection between that Holy Grail and your heart. It's all inside you. That energy of the Holy Grail is within you. And I'm looking at all these fissures in the wall, and look at all that golden light cracking through. It's all cracking through, that golden light cracking through and seeping into that chalice, that golden light into you. And even running through the water, there's hints of gold, aqua, and then purity of white. There, you can bring a calmness to your system. You can bring a calmness to your system. So what do you need to be gentle with yourself during this time of transformation, right? It's reminding me of the Mother Mary card too, that we had last week, or last card pull for our 55 days of Christ consciousness, right? How might you mother and nurture yourself with gentleness and patience, or observe someone else that's going through their opening, observe someone else having their awakening, and how might you provide some gentleness, some calm and care and nurturing? So all these qualities, if you haven't recognized, they work together. They work together. So you in your own time will learn how these will naturally synthesize, and you know exactly when to bring it in as your awareness is higher, your vibration is higher, your ability to hold light in your body is higher and constantly increasing. This heart opening, we're coming up on the Lion's Gate. Today is July 27th. The Lion's Gate is the 8/8 portal. Okay, so those energies we're already preparing for. It's not very far off. So how pertinent, how timely that this other level of heart opening is coming, because we're not long before we had the lion-hearted card, 2 card pulls before, right? We had the lion-hearted card. Okay, so where are you also being courageous in your growth in your life, and what steps are you taking for yourself? Because there's courage in being gentle. There's courage in being gentle. There's bravery in being gentle and showing compassion, which some of us have been challenged with. And when we work with the Christ energy, it's very much about compassion. Very much about compassion. And but when you bring in your higher qualities, you're no longer fatigued by having so much compassion for yourself or others. You can witness your cracking open, your breaking open, the veil's thinning. Okay, the veil is thinning. And so there's these cracks here in the wall where it's just, I'm being reminded, yeah, the veil, another layer of the veil is thinning and falling away. So it's more pertinent for you now to also be in your pillar of light, that only love and light comes through. Anything that is less than that does not come through, and it stays out in the astral. Okay, and that doesn't come into your being, it doesn't come into your energy. You have master of your plane, you have master of your light. And so continue to reinforce that. And what else do we have here? It's just, yeah, it's just all this gold light coming through. And then we have that beautiful hummingbird coming in. So let's go ahead and read the card. It's number 15 in the Christ Consciousness deck. And oh, yeah, let's read the message on this first. I'm looking at it. The message is, what would you love? What would love do? What would love do? So when you're coming from love and your soul, that's where we're leading to and living life from. What would love do? How would love walk through this experience of the body, this experience of this experience of my soul in this human body and experiencing life through this form? What would love do? Ask yourself that right now. What would love do? Place your hand over your heart and be like, what would love do? What would love do? What would love do? And answer from that place. Act on, take action from that place as you connect. That catalyst of power, it's the connection of the heart and the soul is divinely connected. That catalyst of power that comes through you, through the heart, that love. So let's go to the book now. Love one another as I have loved you was one of Jesus's last and most important teachings and the heart of Christ consciousness living. I'm going to reread that sentence, especially that last part of it. Okay, really take this in. Really take this into your heart. Love one another as I have loved you was one of Jesus's last and most important teachings, and at the heart of Christ consciousness living. At the heart of Christ consciousness living. So often we forget the premise of why we are here, or as Jesus said, as my Father loved me, so I have loved you. We look at the world where aggression, division, and hate seems a commonplace. But this can be countered with the heart-centered consciousness if we drink and share from the chalice of love, remembering what life is truly about. To be the fountain from which offers can remember what would love do. Not an easy task, and very often not our first reaction when we have been wronged, misunderstood, chastised, or hurt. But in truth, it is only love that will heal any wounds. It is only love that will heal any wounds. Love will help you build the bridge you seek today, and it will help smooth any conversation that needs to be had. It will bring support, since love can never harm or be the wrong course of action. Even if you have your loving gesture rejected, the fact that you offered it serves you and the wider world, since no drop of love is ever wasted. The fact that you offered it serves you in the wider world. Yeah, no drop is ever wasted. A loving gesture, a kind word, a warm hug, a thoughtful gift, or an offer of your well-intentioned presence is never a mistake. Into all karmic wounds, love can pour. Into all broken hearts, love can soothe and bring relief. And into the bleakest days, love brings the ray of light that transformed and makes life worth loving again. Worth living again. Maybe we need to love life again. Remember today that your true nature is love, that you come from love and return to love, and that whatever troubles you have can be helped by opening to love. So often we close our hearts because we have been hurt or expect little, but we also may not have received love as a child or may now be around those who are emotionally closed. And I'm going to pause there for a moment because some of you may be troubled with that and may be learning to love because you didn't learn to love earlier on as a child, right? You didn't get the gentleness as a child. So that's really hard to learn how to give yourself that when you didn't know what it was. You didn't know what it felt like. So I invite you, if you're recognizing that you're around others that are emotionally closed off, is to continue to open yourself to love and call in from the universe those in your life that would like to awaken to love, and those that are already awakened to love and that know how to love you just where you are. And remind that yourself to love others exactly where they are and to love yourself exactly where you are. And that continues to open that portal of love. As you love others, just love them, even if they're closed and you're opening up, love them, love anyway, as Mother Teresa would say, love anyway. Love anyway. And I paraphrase that, right? Love anyway. Because they're exactly where they need to be, as are you. And you can't force someone else to open. You can only just love them from afar sometimes, and not take personal when it seems like they push you away. They truly aren't. They're just having an inner struggle because they're something else is going on. But you can love from a distance if needed. And then breathe through, be gentle. Okay. And again, those of you that may not have that example, just begin to ask for it. Begin to talk to the universe to go, bring me the people in my life that are open to love, that are not emotionally closed off to themselves. Okay. That are a little more open, and you'll be surprised. They'll start to come as you join different groups, maybe that are more aligned with, that is supportive of your heart opening. And this doesn't mean to just drop people, right? Some may drop away naturally. Others, yeah, you may need to leave, no longer be in their day-to-day presence for your own well-being as well, you know. But it doesn't mean you've left anyone, even though they may feel that way energetically. They may feel you moving in a different direction, and you may feel the repercussions of that, right? And their own energy may come out you sideways, I say, because they only know how to communicate with you in the old way, where you are changing and creating a new way of communicating. That's not on the same frequency. But being that you are a self-master, you're a master, right? You'll learn how to still maintain your frequency and vibration and still communicate to someone that is operating on a different frequency and vibration than you. And you'll learn how to do that and hold all the frequencies in one and bring in your higher self and love through all of it. So I continue. Like a calm, we keep our heart hidden behind an outer shell, but when we open it, we find the pearl within, not damaged by adversity, but strengthened and polished via its experiences. Because to keep your heart open and despite anything that may occur is central to Jesus's template. His love never faltered, and he knew it was and still is the most powerful force in the universe. Receive today all the love that you require. Let it replenish you, inspire you, and fill every cell of your body with its magic and creative power. There is never an ending supply, enough to go around, and it flows daily to you. It flows daily to you upon wakening and retiring to bed. Wrap those you worry about in love. See it as the living energy that is. Send it also to your family, friends, and colleagues, as well as to those who trigger you, those who are jealous of you, and all perceived enemies too. So love going before you as a stream of consciousness into the future. Feel it within you right now in this present moment, and celebrate the love behind you. As you heal your past, love changes the frequency of your ancestors and those who have gone before, as well as those still to come and those still present. Love, so it's ancestral healing is what they're talking about right there. And the lineage forward and backward. And it's kind of reminding me of, before we read that last paragraph, it reminds me of, gosh, I can't think of the name of the modality right now, but it's a Hawaiian healing modality, massage modality, where they sing over the body and call in the ancestors, centered 7 generations in the past and centered 7 generations in the future, and they call in the healing. I want you to invite this energy to be infinite It's infinite. So all that has transpired to all that is yet to come, all in this moment, be healed through love now. Be healed through love now, and release through the power of love brings healing and brings us all together, for we are all one in this energy of love. Love is all there is, all there ever will be. Bathe in its frequency today and drink from its cup, knowing that the well never runs dry and many hearts are awakening more, as is yours. It's so beautiful, as is yours. And you'll notice beyond this portal that is just ever flowing water. You don't see anything else but that stream. And it's a clear, flowing, pure stream. Like, I just want to let that water run right over me. Just let it run right over me and catch that golden ray and just drink it in. Just drink it in. And that's, for me, I just love being connected to water too. And so many people connect water to the soul. And why not? Why not? Because even this, it's a catalyst, right? The catalyst between our heart and the soul is divinely connected. It's a direct connection to the soul and what is. And so be gentle with yourself at this time of really great transformation and infinite transformation. But right now is a pivotal time for you. And how might you support your heart awakening? How might you support your transformation? Right? So let's call on some guides. Let's see, are we calling on any guides today? Any guides to support your heart transformation? Yes, the opening, ascension. Okay, yeah, so we'll call on some guides to assist in the heart for you, the transformation of the heart energy, your catalyst of power. Okay, because it is a catalyst. Your soul connection. So let's see which next wants to come. Oh, where's Starseed inquiry? Let's see. Is it the Starseed deck today? Okay, so we're going to pull from the Starseed deck because there may be an activation here for some of you. Oftentimes, Rebecca Campbell, the Starseed deck has a light activation. So, and a message. So we'll see what card wants to come out through here. And an angel card, it feels like another angel card today. Excuse me while I get some watermelon. Ooh, so nice. Sometimes I put some mint in there. I have like little chipmunk cheeks. Mint is nice and cooling, and I'll chop up some fresh mint and let it infuse. It doesn't need a lot, just a little bit. Okay. Okay, let's have one card to assist with the heart opening. One card, please. All right, here we go. Ha, the seas of Mintaka. Look how beautiful that is. Another water element right here. Let's see what it has to say, the message. Seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. And look at it, it's all celestial up here. And we have the surface layer, and then we have below, right? Because what happens beneath the ocean? How might we bring, as I've often experienced, like, oh, when I'm in my stillness, what will bubble to the surface for me to recognize, to bring light to? So it's so important to be in the stillness of your own waters, be in the stillness of you. And what may become more clear for you as it bubbles to the surface or the light comes up for you to evolve, to be more in your heart, to be more loving, and bring love to it. Bring love to it and heal it. So let's see what the book has to say. And yeah, it's even these water elementals are in there in the spirits. Yeah. God, I want to be at that beach. That clear water just like that. So let's see, the seas of Mintaka. Okay. The seas, okay, potential, seeing potential, because you're also seeing, you're maybe even related to your third eye and your heart center, the seeing potential, but also this is your own inner potential, your divine potential, okay? And that comes through the more steps you take, it unfolds for you. Mintaka is thought to have been a water-based planet, containing the most crystal clear waters you could ever imagine, so clear that you could see for miles and miles underwater. The Seas of Mintaka card represents this crystalline clarity and potential and possibility. It's about the ability and choice to see the potential in all people and situations. That is so perfect with the love that we're bringing in, and this open heart, right? This open heart to see everything through love, to see everything and everyone through love. And that's including the things that are not so easy to swallow, okay? Not so easy to digest and accept that they exist in this world right now, to see it all through love. It is about the ability and choice to see the potential in all people and situations. This could be one of your natural traits, or it could be a sign that what you're currently doing has great potential. Mintakans are thought to have been galactic race who saw the light in everything and in everyone. You may have received this card as confirmation that a situation or project has extreme potential and will reach fruition. It appears in a spread. It is a very positive sign that things are working out for the highest potential of all involved. And that's your I am presence, being able to see from the highest potential of all parties involved. And that is a really important way to learn how to walk through life, through that all is just as it's meant to be. Okay. It's very uplifting. It's a very uplifting, light-filled card and brings great harmony, contentment, and positive outcomes. According to Carl Jung, that which we do not bring to consciousness appears in our life as fate. When water appears in dreams and art, it often represents the unconscious mind. Pulling this card also means you may be called to bring light to an unconscious pattern of which you are unaware. To look at them and see them clearly and consciously so they don't appear in your life as fate. What unconscious patterns or behaviors are ready to be brought to the light of day? Yeah, remember what I was saying? Look how they bubble, those light bubbles to the surface. Be in your stillness and see what you need to look at with more clarity, right? Because this is a clarity card, clarity of vision, clarity of sight, calling in your higher guidance. There's a lot of celestial light in here, right? Above your wisdom, your source connection. So here's the star seed soul inquiry for those of you who feel this is resonant. And if not, you may feel it's resonant at a later time, okay? How can you see the potential in a situation you're facing? What unconscious patterns are you being called to bring to light? So that's the inquiry. So what within you are you being called to bring into light as you open your heart and also learn to do it with gentleness within yourself and with others as well, right? So some of you may be challenged right now with some level of your heart awakening, your soul awakening, your ascension, and being like, I'm really tired of bringing my higher self in and looking at something from the highest possible place. Be gentle with that. Let the water settle and get clarity, right? Because it's okay to be tired, but let's do this with love. Let's do it with clarity. Let's do it with our divine connection and our heart opening. And just own it. Just own your pattern. If you do something and you know this about yourself and you're refusing to acknowledge it because you don't want to, and even though you may hear it from people time and time again that you're a certain way, it's so much easier to go, oh, you know what, I am like that, and laugh about it. And it's not condoning behavior. It's just acknowledging it and owning it. Because when you own it, then it has no power over you. And then even if you're being teased about it, that has no power over you. Right? And then the other person can't even hold it over you anymore, right? They can't even hold that part of your personality over you anymore. You're like, you know what, that's right, I am a bit more stern. I am. Sorry that you were challenged with that. I don't know. You don't have to be sorry for how someone receives your sternness. But it's when we take things personal is when it becomes a problem, right? So perhaps maybe you are a person that is more stern and rigid. Maybe it's an opportunity for you to recognize in yourself, like, well, what do I really need to be that stern and rigid anymore? And I'm hearing the answer is no. Is no. Even in your spiritual practice, it doesn't have to be committed, yes. Devoted, yes. But it doesn't have to hold the same structure it once did. Right? Maybe you were someone that went to church every single Sunday because that's what you did when you were a kid. That's what your parents did. That's what their parents did. And that's just what you did. Maybe that doesn't work for you anymore. Maybe on Sundays, you actually go to nature and take a nice hike because that's feeding you in another way that maybe going to being in the four walls of church is no longer giving you. Now, I'm not saying don't go to church if you're a churchgoer. I'm just saying it's okay if you replace those four walls with another outing as you connect to God within yourself. That you can loosen your reins a little bit so you can receive that higher light and wisdom within yourself and receive the wisdom of God, of you, the God that's in you, the light of all that is. You can receive that with more ease, with more grace. Okay, because some of you out there are recognizing, well, this clothing doesn't fit anymore. Right? This routine of mine doesn't fit me anymore. And where might it still fit? And how may I evolve with this practice? Right? Because you're just evolving with the practice. I'm not saying give up your religious faith. I'm asking you to evolve with it and expand in your perspective and go inward. And you will know how often that is needed for you to connect. Is it weekly? Or maybe you go once a month, or maybe you go at different times so you can do your own spiritual connection at home with the planet, with the earth, with the water. You can make it your own and have this very beautiful and powerful connection with the God in you, with the love in you, with the heart opening that's within you. And I think you might be surprised how you might receive the sermons differently. You might receive different information than you did before, right? It's kind of like rereading a book and something else stands out more, like, oh, wow, I didn't hear that before. And I've heard this sermon many times, this topic. So be open to new things opening to you as you are opening to love. That's all we have for you today. I'm Gina Lobito, Soul Inspired Reflections. And till next time, I will see you for day 17 with our 55 days of Christ consciousness journey together. Much love to all of you. Have a really, really blessed day.